Metformin is a very common medicine. You might have heard its name before. Many doctors prescribe it to their patients. It is mainly used for type 2 diabetes. This is a condition that affects blood sugar. Metformin helps to keep these sugar levels normal. It has been available for many decades now, so it has a long and established history of use. People generally find it to be a helpful medication. How does metformin actually work in the body? It helps your body in a few important ways. It makes your body respond better to insulin. Insulin is a very important hormone for us. It helps sugar enter your cells to be used for energy. If you have type 2 diabetes, insulin might not work so well. Metformin helps to improve this situation. It also lowers how much sugar your liver produces. This combined action helps control blood glucose. Is metformin a safe drug for people to take? For most individuals, yes, it is considered quite safe. It has been studied extensively over a long time. Like all medicines, it can sometimes have side effects. Some people might feel a little bit nauseous, or they might experience an upset stomach initially. These common issues often go away quite quickly on their own. Doctors usually start patients on a small, gentle dose. Then they might increase it gradually if needed. Metformin is very well known for diabetes care, but scientists are now looking much further than that. They are actively wondering if it has other health benefits. This curiosity has led to a lot of new research. Could this drug potentially help with other conditions? Could it have an impact on how our bodies age? These are certainly very interesting questions for medical science. This old and familiar drug might yet offer new surprises. We are constantly learning, which is exciting. Recently, there has been some new research emerging. Scientists are studying metformin more and more. They are looking beyond its effects on just blood sugar. Some new studies are suggesting rather interesting things. One idea is that metformin might be good for our brains. This is potentially exciting news for many of us. Keeping our brains healthy is, of course, very important. We all want to stay mentally sharp as we grow older, so any clues in this area are welcome. One area of particular interest is how our brain works. This is often called our cognitive function. Could metformin possibly help to protect our thinking skills? Some early studies indicate that it might play a role. It could perhaps work by reducing levels of inflammation. Inflammation in the body can sometimes harm the brain. Much more research is definitely needed to be absolutely sure, but these first signs are quite hopeful for researchers. It opens up new avenues for investigation. Another new and interesting finding is about long COVID. Long COVID means that COVID-19 symptoms last for a long time. These symptoms can go on for many weeks or even months. A new study recently looked at metformin in this context. It suggested that taking metformin might actually help. It could lower the risk of someone developing long COVID. This was observed in people who took metformin when they first got COVID-19. This is a very relevant finding for public health. The study found something that seems quite promising. People who were taking metformin appeared to be less likely. They had a noticeably lower chance of a long COVID diagnosis later. This is very hopeful information for many people indeed. Long COVID can make daily life very difficult for sufferers, so finding effective ways to prevent it is a key priority. But we must be sure to look at this study carefully. We need to understand its limitations before we get too excited. This area of research is still in its early phases. There has been a lot of talk about metformin and aging. You may well have heard some rather big claims made. People are starting to wonder if it extends our lifespan. Some early studies on animals were carried out some time ago. These particular studies were on small creatures like worms and mice. They showed that these animals lived longer when given metformin. This observation naturally created a great deal of excitement. Could this common drug do the same thing for us humans? It is a question many are keen to answer. But we must always remember something very important here. What works in animal studies doesn't always work for us. Human bodies are far more complex than those of mice or worms. So far, there is no strong scientific proof available. There is no proof that metformin extends human life significantly. Scientists are still studying this question very hard indeed. Large, well-designed studies on human populations are needed. These kinds of comprehensive studies take a very long time to complete. We must exercise patience while waiting for clear answers. The idea of finding an anti-aging pill is very nice. It certainly sounds very appealing to a lot of people, but we really do need to be realistic about this. Aging is an incredibly complicated biological process. Many different factors throughout the body are involved in it. It is not very likely that one single drug is the magic answer. Metformin might well offer some general health benefits as we age. These benefits could contribute to healthier aging, perhaps, but actually extending life itself is a much bigger claim. So, the research in this specific area is still going on. It is interesting to follow, but do not jump ahead of the science. Metformin is and remains a prescription drug for good reason. It is given by doctors for specific medical reasons only. It should only be taken if your doctor advises you to. Using it without medical advice to try and live longer is not advised. The solid evidence is simply not there to support that yet. Not for healthy people who are just seeking a longer life. It is best to wait for more definitive research. Let's talk a little more about that recent long COVID study. It is very important to understand how science works properly. This new study, like many studies, had some limitations. These are things that mean we must be careful with conclusions. For example, it was not a special type of clinical trial. It was not a randomized controlled trial, often called an RCT. RCTs are usually considered the gold standard for medical proof. They are designed carefully to help avoid any potential bias. This makes their findings more reliable. This particular study did not have what is called a placebo group. A placebo is like a dummy pill or a sham treatment. It helps scientists to see the true effects of the actual drug. Is it the drug causing the change, or is it something else? Without using a placebo, it is much harder to know for sure. Also, the study itself was not very big in scale. The number of people included in it was relatively small. Small studies can sometimes produce results that are due to chance. We often need larger studies to confirm initial findings. So, the findings about long COVID and metformin are interesting, but they do not definitively prove a cause and effect relationship. They only suggest that there might possibly be a link. More thorough research is definitely needed in this area. We need it to confirm these early and tentative ideas. Always try to be careful with any new health claims you hear. Look for health advice from sources that you know you can trust. Your own doctor is always a very good person to start talking to. They know your personal health history. Taking good care of your overall health is always the best plan. This is the most proven and reliable approach to well-being. Try to eat a good, balanced range of nutritious foods. Make an effort to stay physically active on most days. Ensure that you are getting enough restful sleep each night. Learn healthy ways to manage your stress levels effectively. These positive lifestyle actions are known to help you significantly. For quality health supplements to support your efforts in maintaining well-being, you might consider visiting avidasana.com. However, always remember that supplements are there to complement a healthy lifestyle. They do not replace it. It's very important to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement.